Hello everyone, welcome. Norma Woodcock speaking to you from Perth in Western Australia. I'd like to speak into the feast, the body and blood of Christ, Year A, the Feast of Corpus Christi as we have known it in the past. The theme, I need love. So we know this wonderful feast is about the life of Christ being given to us in the Eucharist, and like Jesus we're called to give that love away. So I want to tell you a story. In Ethiopia, in the Great Famine of 1984 to 1986, people were starving. Cardinal Hume of Westminster visited Ethiopia in the middle of the famine. They were all sitting around waiting for the food that just wasn't coming. All these people. As he got out of the helicopter, a small 10-year-old boy came up to him and took his hand. He only had a loincloth around his waist. The child made two gestures. One was he would take his hand to his mouth, indicating he needed food. The second gesture, he took the cardinal's hand and rubbed it on his cheek. Two fundamental needs we all have. Two deep hungers we all have. A hunger for food and a hunger for love. This story, as I read it, as the cardinal flew out on the helicopter, he saw the little boy looking at him reproachfully. But we have to get all of this where we belong, because Ethiopia isn't where we are. Ethiopia is a long way away, and yet we all have our own people around us starving for love as much as they starve for food. You know, when I had my conversion 40 years ago, I really did experience a wonderful love coming to me from God, and I began to want to share that love with my husband, and I considered myself a very good housewife, and everything was very neat. The house was clean, and food was always prepared. I was a good cook. All the things in the drawers and the cupboards were neatly folded, etc. And I remember this message coming through to me through prayer, through teaching, so loving my husband more. Christianity is not isolated between us and Christ. It really is between us and Christ and everyone else, beginning with those closest to us. So I remember going very confidently up to my husband and saying, "How can I love you more?" And he looked at me as he put down his briefcase from work and he said, "Stop nagging." I was shattered. But I knew that God was speaking to me. So the sacrifice we have to give in the lives that we live are right in our very face sometimes. And it was hard for me, and it's taken many, many years of healing and many, many years of deep revelation of God's love for me and a deep, deep revelation of God's acceptance of me, for me to begin to be able to accept myself, and therefore to begin to be able to accept particularly the most intimate relationships in my life. And so the journey, as you and I know it, is allow this amazing God to love you into life so that you can start to love yourself in a healthy and respectful way, and then that love will flow out to those around us. I think of this little 10-year-old boy with the loincloth around his waist, how he gestured for food, but he took the cardinal's hand and just rubbed it on his cheek, the need for love. Who in your life is wanting the food of love? I need love. You need love. Everyone around us needs love. So allow God to lead you deeper into the great mystery of his body and blood, his life given to us in Eucharist. Bless you and may you have a great week. Thank you for listening.